ठाकुर मिनति मोखेना कर मोर हे ठाकुर मिनति मोखेना कर।
जड़े गायब आगे पानी श्रेया पक्ष से श्रेयार लास्ट अच्छी ना। हाँ हाँ स्विचर हाँ तू ता पछरे बस सही बस तू केतटा 10-12 खंडे ड्रेस आनी बोधे तार घंटा गोटे ड्रेस हो तू ठीक अच्छे। ओके सिमरान तू गोटे माइक नहीं पाल
जय करो नाथ तुमको देखी पाई नाथ तुमको देखी पाई नीति नीति चिता अकुल मोहरा नीति नीति चिता अकुल मोहरा कह तू में अच्छा काही कह तू में अच्छा काही नाथ तुमको देखी पाई नाथ तुमको देखी पाई सुख पामते बारुछि मुसते खोजी हुए जेते दूरे दूरे सेते सुख पामते बारुछि मुसते खोजी हुए जेते दूरे दूरे सेते अदेखा रे था रही अदेखा रे था रही नाथ तुमको देखी पाई नाथ तुमको देखी पाई सुखर खबर दुखर खबर निया तुमे मोर बारे मोंतर सुखर खबर दुखर खबर निया तुमे मोर बारे तुला बंधु नाही नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए एते उपखारी किया तुम सारी आखिर ना हेरी पंछी बिखी पारी एते उपखारी किए तुम सारी आखिर न हेरी बंशी बिखी पारी मते तारे दिया कही मते तारे दिया कही नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए तुम गुण गाई तुमार उपाध्याय मन मोर धाए गरीबाकु छाए तुम गुण गाए तुमार उपाध्याय मन मोर धाए गरीबाकु छाए तुम्हारी चरण दुई तुम्हारी चरण दुई नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए नीति नीति चिता आकुल मोहरा नीति नीति चिता आकुल मोहरा कह तुमे अच्छा काहीं कह तुमे अच्छा काहीं नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए नाथ तुमको देखिबा पाए जय जय प्राण ठाकुर से ही रूपे दिया दर्शन प्राण ठाकुर से ही रूपे दिया दर्शन जदर्शने मृता प्राणे संचरेण जीवन जदर्शने मृता बुञ्चिबा सर्वसंशय दुर्जीव पापभय बुञ्चिबा सर्वसंशय दुर्जीव पापभय निर्मल है हृदय धन्य होय जीवन निर्मल है हृदय धन्य होय जीवन एहि रूपे दिया दर्शन प्राणचा खोर सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन अबरित अरुधर लज भय तेजे दूरी नाचिबी आनंद भरे लज भय तेजे दूरी नाचिबी आनंद भरे गाइबी मोचा सोरे तब नाम जय गाना गाइबी मोचा सोरे तब नाम जय गाना सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन प्राणता खुर सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन श्रीपदे करुझियाली देई भक्ति पुष्पांजलि श्रीपदे करुझियाली देई भक्ति पुष्पांजलि चरण सेवा करी रख माते चिरदीना चरण सेवा करी रख माते चिरदीना सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन प्राणचा खोर सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन जदर्शने मूर्ता प्राणे संचरे नव जीवन जदर्शने मूर्ता प्राणे चक्रिधन सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन प्राणचा खोर सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन प्राणचा खोर सेहि रूपे दिया दर्शन
अन्नी की भक्ति
भवबन्धनमो चाना। ताम्बरदं प्रणमामि गुरुं शिवकल्पतरुं प्रणमामि गुरुं शिवकल्पतरुम्।
Joy Guru. Yeah, just a second. I'm requesting Vijay Bhai to come to the stage, please. Shreyasi will sing Bandana, Hasare Hasare Mukuta Jhare. Mane beautiful songs. As you see, in a young aspirant session, heart touching songs. I hope those who are singing, you know the meaning of the song, each song. Very, very heart touching songs.
Jai Guru. Hasare hasare mukuta jhare jar ranga dharu. Hasare hasare mukuta jhare jar ranga dharu. आसी सरधारा बरसी जाए जाए सिरी कररू. आसी सरधारा बरसी जाए जाए सिरी कररू. सेही मो ठाकुर सेही मोर गुरु सेही मो ठाकुर सेही मोर गुरु सेही मो निगम कल्पतरु. हसरे हसरे मुकुता झरे जा रंग धरू. नयन जुगाल सविता सुसांग ज्योतिराशि झलसाई. नयन जुगाल सविता सुसांग ज्योतिराशि झलसाई. सुषमा नहीं तो उपमा पलकता परछाई. श्रीमुख सुषमा नहीं तो उपमा पलकता परछाई. फूल ठुकमल जा चरण सदा झरे अमृता. झरे जा रंग धरू पीर चिर सूर शुभ बार बार परण फूल खच खाई पीर चिर सूर शुभ बार बार परण फूल खच खाई से मधुर वाणी मननीय कीरी जन्म मरण भुलाई से मधुर वाणी मननीय कीरी जन्म मरण भुलाई शरण जहार विरंची वंचित निगम सुधा शरण जहार विरंची वंचित निगम सुधा तापित हृदय सुशीतल बारी सिंची वसुधा तापित हृदय सुशीतल बारी सिंची वसुधा सेहि मोर प्रिय सेहि मोर हृदय सेहि मोर प्रिय सेहि मोर हृदय सेहि मो परम आराध्य गुरु हसरे मुकुता झरे जा रंग धरू सरे हसरे मुकुता झरे जा रंग धरू जय गुरु
Joy Guru. On show, we'll read Sri Thakur's advice on show.
section. Again. Right.
From here to right until here. Okay. Testing. To students, Chapter 12, Formation of the Life of Totality. Chastranam Adhyananam Tapa. Study is a tapasya, spiritual austerity for students. In other words, students should employ all their efforts and energies in their studies. If any student's mind partakes of divergent thoughts and efforts during this period, he loses concentration. Consequently, he cannot acquire and consolidate adequate knowledge. This is why in ancient time, the students of our country had to live in the residence of Sri Gurudev and remain engaged in acquisition of knowledge by adopting the life of brahmacharya. This life, in hermitage, was spent in graceful proximity of Sadguru in the serene and secluded atmosphere of nature characterized by freedom, liberalism, and absence of artificiality. Here, the worldly impurities found no place. Hence, the life of students remained undefiled. Their life was molded completely according to their natural spirit. The defects of immaturity were not visualized in them. They were reared as the children of human beings, irrespective of the fact that they were kings and subjects, rich and poor. Therefore, the social status and aristocratic legacy was no obstacle on the path of their education. On attaining maturity, the budding potentiality. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. On attaining maturity, the budding potentialities and seeds in them blossomed and bore fruits in appropriate time. They had the privilege to realize truth mentioned in the scriptures during their student life. On the whole, Acharya and Guru were living scriptures for them. So whatever the great men performed is emulated and followed by others below them. Since this truth was materialized, the life of students was beset with plethora of sweetness. Those who had control over tongue and sex during the period of learning dedicated their life for the cause of truth and welfare of the world. But those who were unable to escape these dual influences on entering into the household life had to give tests for the second time. They succeeded in this test without any obstacle due to the sweeping force of the previous life of restraint, education, and ideal. Then they endeavored to acquire further higher knowledge and ultimately attain the life of totality by living life according to the above higher principles. Thus, the ideal of the age was to enable everybody to attain fullness of life. The society in that age was so organized that its educational field spread to everywhere, and all arrangements aimed at the universal realization of fulfillment in human life. In this educational system, there was no hostility between the rich and the poor, the Brahmin and the non-Brahmin. Living amidst four ashramas, Brahmacharya, Garhyastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, everybody raced towards that single goal. There was no occasion for any hostility in social solidarity and discipline. Although there was social classification based on function and quality, but there was no place for any hostility. There was harmony and cooperation among all, since everybody's goal was the same. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. So, I'm requesting Vijay Bhai to share a few words.
Sure. Can I make it interactive? Can I make it interactive? Sure. Joy Guru, young aspirants, I'd love to hear you say Joy Guru. Say Joy Guru with me. Joy Guru, Joy Guru. You know, when I sat down, there were tears of joy. And they were really tears of joy because we're coming back and meeting in person after 3 years. And so I was very thankful that I have this opportunity to be with you all. Tears of joy because I was with young aspirants. I remember my mother who brought us when I was like you all, running around and all that, but we didn't have young aspirants. So it's wonderful that you all have young aspirants coming together. Aren't you all having fun seeing each other? You know, playing, running. I saw you all play there under the tent, you know, playing volleyball, and your eye-hand coordination is much better than most people that I knew when I was growing up. Okay, so first thing is learning to say thank you, learning to be grateful. When you are grateful, you tend to be more happy. You know, when you say acknowledge and say thank you, and that's what, you know, we learned from Thakur. one of the things that I don't have much advice. We will have a conversation. And today I was grateful for my mother who is not with me, but my dad and my mom is right here. So, he is there always with us. And so for that I was expressing gratitude to him. And I'm grateful to you and for the young aspirant sessions. I look forward every Sunday, so honestly, to look at, to hear Swatima and Bhaktima, and then now, Anima or Shrema. I learn from you. And it's such a joy to interact with you, the way you conduct yourself, the way, Simran, Srija, Anik, Timmy, Jimmy, all of you are the way you, answer questions, you ask the questions and answer questions with a joy. So without me taking further, I want to, suggest something, ask something, and I want you all to take turns to speak. I think there are microphones, we can, pass it around. And so 2 or 3 questions I want you to think about. What makes Sammilani special for you? We are young aspirants. This is young aspirant session. So volunteer to say, what makes Sammilani special for you? What makes Sangha, young aspirant, special to you? And a little, you don't have to answer that, and maybe, Braja Bhai, Gyan Bhai, they will talk about how Thakura is special to you. And I will suggest something how he has been special to my life while I was growing up and a young aspirant. One thing that I have learned has made a difference. But let's start with how Sammilani and being with young aspirants has made it special for you. I want you to, Simran Ma, go ahead.
Something that makes me happy is meeting with young aspirants, after a while,
Yeah.
and getting to learn about Thakura more and more.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, getting to learn more. Vijama, you want to say something? Yeah.
How I feel about having Thakura and having just young aspirants and getting together is I feel unique and very happy to meet with Thakura, and also sometimes learning more by reading Thakura's books. Thakura.
Thank you. Yeah. One of the things Thakura has said, while somebody else is thinking what they would say, that he wants to see us smile. So one advice that I would say is, smile more and smile often. When is a big smile, and we teach that in American, in our schools and all that. When is your smile the widest? What do you say when you're smiling? Cheese, and what else? What is little wider than cheese? Money. No, I'll just see this yours. Money. They say, the money is just wide. Dad, give me some money, and he gave you some. Oh, money. So, someone else. How this Sammilani is special for you? You want to say? You sang a beautiful song. Go ahead. Take turn.
Jagru, Sammilani is special to me because I get a chance to meet with all the people who's only, I've been hearing only their voices for now, 2 years. I've only been hearing their voices. It's nice to, finally see them and, interact with them. That's, not over a, scheduled phone call. So that's nice. And I also kind of sharing knowledge and talking to people face to face.
That's anyone else? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Jagru, I like Sammilani because all of us as a group, youngest friends, we can go together and meet Thakura and do puja, and it's it feels special to me. And like she said, you don't just hear their voice on the phone call, you can see them, interact with them, and have fun and be with Thakura, Jaiguru.
And you are singing, so singing and you are singing praise and listening to each other. What, a little older young aspirant? Little older? You know, this Ibama was used to this, running around in North Carolina mountains. I used to always like to call on Ibama, and why not today also? Say something, Ibama. Did you just finish high school, Ma? Oh, wonderful. This is a great time of transition. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Jacob. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons Sammilani is so special is because we all come together in the same love for Thakura at the same time. And especially in the last 2 years, we haven't been able to do that. That's the same as everyone.
How has young aspirants meant to you through the years? You know, going from elementary school to middle school to, you know, the reason I'm a little more interested, you know, you're now transitioning to college. You're a young adult.
Yeah.
So
I like that Y session has changed along as I'm changing. It changed so much, and it's very applicable to my own life as well as like the small pieces of advice and small things I learned from every single Y session as helpful to me.
So you do pick up, you know, it what you learn on one makes you think, and it somehow spills over to the week or to a difficult situation.
Yeah.
I know somebody who told me, don't worry about me, you know, whether I'm happy or whether I'm sad, I say joy guru. You know, from that day I don't ask him anything or don't worry about him, you know, so yeah. And so
is this working? Yeah, it's working. So, to me, Sammilani means that I can meet with all the friends that I've met, and to me, Sammilani is kind of a way that in case anything happened during the regular school year or any stress, I can always just relieve it when I come for Sunday pujas, and then in Sammilani, I can always meet all these new friends and meet them again and just have fun and relax with them. And we can all share the same goal with Thakura, so it feels good about that.
anyone else? Anyone else? You know, one of the things, first Sammilani took place in Minneapolis, America Saraswata Sangha, and you know, Fatima was very young, and I'm showing my age, and I think Rinima was not even standing up. I think she was crawling around. I'd say that's what it was. So, you know, I'm more interested in, because I'm not trying to be facetious, but you know, I think it's an opportunity for me and for all of others to think through. And now that it's wonderful to have Swatima, Bhakti, and Shreyama lead the young aspirants. You know, I was explaining to, I think, Ravi Bhai, that, you know, the way it is that it's not a sprint, it's a relay. You know, when you have a 400 times 400, you have to pass the baton while you are running at its best, not when you're like that, you know. And then the other person is also at speed. That's the only way it works. Yeah, so, you know, the baton is being passed on to you, and you're doing marvelously well. You're doing marvelously well. So I want to see if our young aspirant leaders, you know, if they would like to reflect a little bit, you know, starting with Fatima, if she's around, you know, yeah, there she is, young lady. Good to see you. Okay, there is Fatima. I really would like to listen. We learned so much from her. We'll come back to you. In fact, I want to mention something. Yeah, Jimmy, all of them. Buy tickets for you. We'll wrap up after this.
Okay, Guru, yes. I think the first Sammilani I was 7, maybe. And, you know, we didn't start the young aspirant session until a few years after that. And we had our first group of kids It was much smaller than it is now. Our age ranges weren't as wide. And we just started reading stories, which we've begun to bring back. And it was something fun to do, right? We knew we had this Sangha. We didn't have NSM yet. We didn't have a place where we all came together that was consistent year to year. It was the first little thing that we had where, we as kids were part of it. We would come the first few years or so, and we'd run around, but we weren't really involved in everything. We'd see Takura was there. We wouldn't know. We would talk about it at home, but we didn't, as a group of kids, really talk about all of that. And then we had the young aspirant session, and then it grew, and we went from talking about small stories to talking about the 8 limbs of yoga and getting into a lot of the deeper philosophies. And then, as we all were learning and getting deeper into it, then all of you that are here now were born, you started getting old enough, you guys started joining. And every 5 or 10 years, it feels like we've renewed. And now, here, I'm no longer part of the Young Aspirant session. As a member, I'm now running some of these classes, which happened gradually over the last 10 years or so. I think the first one I ran, I was 16, so younger than some of you that are graduating now. And we've gone back and done some of the things we've done before. We've changed this up a few times, and it's been interesting for me to see how it's evolved. And it's been something that I really enjoy seeing all of you feel as involved and feel that same joy that I used to feel when I was young, which was, hearing everyone's voices and then coming to Sammilani and seeing it again. These things all of you are saying are things I think I felt when I was your age. And I think the way that I've grown and I've felt about this program as I've grown up, I think all of you will reach those same points as well. And it'll be a little bit different, but there are so many of you than there are in the little batch that I'm in.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Bhakti Ma. Short. Yeah.
Jai Guru. So reflecting on Young Aspirant session in Sammilani, first for Sammilani, I remember the first one I went to, I was very little, I was around 5 years old and kind of running around. But when the Young Aspirant session started, I think it was first called Kids Session. So it was a lot different than it is today. And like Swatima said, there was a smaller range of kids, of age ranges in kids, and we had our own session. And I remember the thing I liked the most was we were reading a lot of stories that Takura had told devotees and disciples. And so those things today, like as someone who's moderating the Y sessions, I like to bring those up, the ones that stuck with me all throughout the years. I like to bring up those same concepts. And for Young Aspirant session, I think it's something that I learned from like attending the sessions, so from different topics like the 8 limbs of yoga, different stories, learning about Takura and divine events that bhaktas have experienced. Those are all like various ranges of information that it's useful to know, being part of the Sangha and being part of being a devotee of Sri Takura. So I think I've really enjoyed like learning from Young Aspirant session, and during Sammilani's years ago, I would always look forward to attending Sammilani so that I would see everyone around the whole country, that I would just hear their voices, and that one time in the year I would see everyone in person. So that was something I looked forward to. I still look forward today. Like right now, after 3 years, a lot of us are sitting in the same room. Because last year, I think it was a different circumstance. So this is like the first time, and I'm glad to see like so many young aspirants here, sitting here, paying attention, and eager to learn and looking forward to the future.
Thank you.
Jai Guru.
Anima.
Jai Guru. In terms of reflecting on the importance of Sammilani, I feel similarly to what everyone has already said. I think I wait very much for the YA session during Sammilani because it's so nice to see all the little kids in one room, and the excitement that you hear on the phone when they want to chime in or answer a question, you now see that in person. In terms of the YA session, I think the one thing that is striking to me, I'm not sure if Bhaktima and Swatima feel the same, but we talk about very, very difficult topics. And my session, I'm always asking some of the youngest of the young aspirants, and I cannot remember a time when one of them didn't have a thought that really made me think. So I'm learning much more, I think, than they may be, but it's just reinforced. I think it's just a really amazing reinforcer that we all grow up already having the answers. At some point, we get confused, we learn something, or we take on some idea that pollutes maybe the very simple things that we already came into this world with. So in some ways, we're in a path going back to that again, and I'm thankful to Thakura for giving us the young aspirants to help us learn those things. Jai Guru.
You know, one thing before Anshul says, I was telling Ravi Bhai as to how one time they were hesitating, I'm not sure. He said, no, we want to go to North Carolina. We want to go to ashram. We want to go to NSM. So, I think that's wonderful that you the inspiration for your parents to, make sure that you all are here. Go ahead.
Okay. Jaiku, so I guess I have very similar experiences to everyone else that talked so far. I guess the main difference between the Sammilani versus how we normally talk to each other over phone is that we can actually see each other in person. And I guess that overall, I guess it's nice that we can see each other with the same goals and aspirations, and share the same devotion to Thakura. And I guess overall, it's nice to see the YA session grow over time, and it definitely shapes my thinking, but I'm sure that's true for everyone else that attends the YA session. It shapes your thinking, so that when you go throughout your normal everyday sort of tasks, you kind of share the same concepts that we learn from Swati, Bhakti, and Treya Didi, from all the times we talk to each other over phone, and I guess it's something that I'm grateful for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jimmy Babu?
So for me, why I like Sammilani is because I get to talk with my friends, I get to see them again, after 3 years of hearing them on the phone every Sunday. I can actually finally see their faces and talk to them and interact with them and play with them again. And before, I could only during COVID, I could only talk with one of my only one of the young aspirants. During COVID, I could talk to one. So now I guess now that we're back here and us here in Sammilani, I feel I can talk with more people now, in person.
Your brother wants to say something? Okay. Brajabai, thank you so much. Grateful for the young aspirants that we had a conversation.
Jai Guru. Um, so I just want to congratulate three of our young aspirants who just completed high school and will be joining college, the next phase of their life. So they are Rongsul Bhai, Ivama, Aryan Bhai. Congratulations.
No, you're grateful that they will come to, so they'll allow us to earn a livelihood. both are college professors.
Right. We make money. That's how we make money. We earn money. Okay. Just quickly, I just want to mention one thing that I mentioned during the earlier session, so that you guys just for your information, you see what is written there, something new, right? Any idea what that says? What? Joy Guru. Yes, it's a Joy Guru in Odia, right? 100 years back, exactly 100 years back, in 1922, in the 8th Sammilani, that Thakur had started Sammilani, I think in the year 1915, and at that time he was inviting only 4 of his disciples to Matha in Assam, having the Sammilani. In 1922, he opened it up to all his disciples, not just invited a few. So they went to, at that time it was in Dhaka. Dhaka now the capital of Bangladesh, but at that time Bangladesh was part of India, right? So at that Sammilani, on the first day of Sammilani, so he told his disciples that Joy Guru becomes your insignia. Okay? When you meet your Guru Bhais, you just say Joy Guru. And he wrote down in the proceedings of Sammilani. Right? When you see each other, we say Joy Guru, right? So Thakura wanted us to do that. He instructed us to do that. Okay? Exactly 100 years back. Just wanted to let you guys know. Alright. Joy Guru. Sorry, our next song is Atula Tumara, another beautiful song. Atula Tumara Vipaladanara Paditima.
Thank you. नाही आतुळ तुम्हारी विपुल दानारा प्रतिदान नाही नाही प्रतिदान नाही नाही सीमाहीन तुमा अभूल बिराती सीमाहीन तुमा अभूल बिराती हे पारिबा मूला हे पारिबा मूला दे आतुळ तुम्हारी विपुल दानारा प्रतिदान नाही नाही आतुळ तुम्हारी विपुल दानारा प्रतिदान नाही नाही प्रतिदान नाही नाही प्रतिदान नाही नाही जय गुरु
Jai Guru. So we'll start our Bhava Vinimaya. So those who have not shared your thoughts yet, I'm inviting them to come here and share your thoughts. Anyone? Anyone? Oh, Bobby bhai. Anyone else? Anik? Yeah, please come here. Or,
जय गुरु प्राण ठाकुर भक्त भाई माँ आउ young aspirants ମୋ ସମୟ class ଅଛି ଆଉ ମୋତେ ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ଲାଗୁଛି. After the COVID-19 pandemic, I thought I wouldn't go to Sammilani. I thought I didn't go to Sammilani for 2 years, but now I'm here and I'm really happy. I would also like to share one of my experiences that and I learned this from my session. I've said Jai Guru before every test and also before going to a foreign place, and even if Thakura will give us what we deserve, and he will also protect us. Jai Guru.
Jamuma.
I didn't really prepare anything, but I wanted to talk about my experiences with Takura. Oh, okay. So I'm about to graduate next year, and I know that I'm going to start applying to colleges this year, and it's already like a difficult process because there's so much to do for each college, but Takuro so far has already been there for me. He has told me to, like, he has helped me calm down and stuff like that. And then, as my high school experience is coming to a close, he's always there for me. He's always helped me with any challenges I've faced so far as well. When I was younger, I've, like, always kind of wondered what Takuro, like, means to me. And I've learned a lot from the YS sessions, and he's really, like, helped me learn how to be a good person, how to be a good student as well. So, yeah, Dragon.
Anybody else? Okay. No. Where is he? I don't see him. No, he's not there. Anybody else? Please come over. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying that this is kind of a milestone Sammilani for us because this is our 20th Sammilani that we're having for AMSAS and our Sangha, and it's also the 10th year that we are in Nigam Smriti Mandira. And I think that it's really important to realize like what we've accomplished so far, like so being here for 10 years and having a place where we can worship and congregate every weekly, we have Sangha Puja here. And in my time in high school, in the early years of NSM, I would try to come, I think twice a month that was that time. And then in college, I would also, by his blessings, I also had the opportunity to come during then on the weekends when I was free. And I think one important thing I was reflecting on, I was thinking about the milestones, and also I said that it's 100 years of having Jaguru Mantra. So it's important to have that consistency and think about like progress doesn't happen overnight, and it's always day by day. So one habit that we have every day can become, like one action that we take every day can become a habit, and it can become part of a routine, and it can always help us progress and grow. And so I hope that we can all always look forward and continue to congregate and gather together and seek his blessings and learn from Sri Chakra's teachings. And I pray to Sri Chakra to forgive any mistakes that I've made in any of my sevas, and to always be connected with him and do his seva. Jai.
Jai Guru. Anybody else? Last call? No?
Jai Guru. Jai Guru. It's been a blessing that we have finally come to Sammilani after 3 years of absence because of COVID, and I felt like kind of lonely because like I only had Anshulbai to talk to, and like I felt like now I have like more people to talk to, and it's like actually like I can actually see the young aspirants, and now I can Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. So next we'll have Guru Ashtakam by Saraswata. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Jai Guru.
मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् धनं पौत्रपौत्रादि सर्वं गृहं बान्धव सर्वमेतादिजात मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् विदेशेषु मान्ये स्वदेशेषु नान्ये सदाचारवृत्तेषु नातो न जान्ये मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् क्षमामण्डले भूपभूपालवृन्दे सदा सेवितं यस्य पादारविन्द मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् यशो मे गतं दीक्षुदानप्रताप जगद्वास्तु सर्वं करेयथ सादर मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् न भोगेन योगेन भावादिराजो न काण्ठमुखेनैव वित्तेषु चित्तं मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् अराण्येन वसैस्य गेहेन कार्ये न देहे मनो वर्तते मे धनार्गे मनीषेण लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिं पद्मे तत किं तत किं तत किं तत किम् देहि यतिर्ब्रह्मचारी च गेहि लभेदञ्चितार्थं पदं ब्रह्मसंज्ञ गुरोरुक्तवाक्ये मनो यस्य लग्नं गुरोरुक्तवाक्ये मनो यस्य लग्नं गुरोरुक्तवाक्ये मनो यस्य लग्नम्. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. So next onks, we invite for next year's YA session.
Is this working? Yeah. Okay. I invite Sri Sri Thakur, all Pais Mas, and young aspirants to the next Sangha Puja on next Sammilani on July 1st. Jai Guru. Next year, 2023.
Jai Guru. So here we are going to conclude our YA session. Thakur को हमारा next session पर invite करूँची. So our next session will start at 5:30 Pratiksha and 6 o'clock Arati. And then we'll have our general body meeting at 8 o'clock, from 8 to 9 o'clock. So please, plan to attend. There are a lot of things to discuss. So I request you all to be here on time before 8 o'clock, so that we can start on time and finish on time. Anything else there? I think that's all. So, Jai Guru.